Hello and welcome to Just One More Watch, and today back with the full review of this, the Glycine Combat Sub Quartz 40mm. Now I got this watch about a month ago, did an unboxing of it, looked great on paper, $99, Sapphire Crystal, quality Swiss brand, Swiss movement, and a screw down crown, 200 meters water resistance. But I was less than impressed when I opened the packaging. The bezel action was shocking and the whole watch felt a little bit cheap and tinny. Let's see how it gets on in this full review. Let's flip the camera and get into it. Okay, so let's have a closer look at this one. If you haven't watched the unboxing video, it came in a very nice packaging actually, perhaps slightly too nice considering the price tag. I bought this one on Massdrop. I paid $99 US plus $10 shipping. That came to 150 Australian for me. I then actually did a deal with a friend. I bought this one on the rubber strap. It came with a choice of rubber or NATO. I bought it on the rubber strap and then sold that rubber strap to a friend who's got two glycines. That took the effective price down for me to about 90 US dollars by the time I had paid the postage and so on. I then purchased this, which is a rather natty Ducati NATO strap for it, which I think suits it to a T actually. So it came with all the packaging, Ronda 515 quartz movement in this one, international warranty card, etc, etc. Move that to one side, nice little tag. As I said, perhaps a little too much packaging. I'd have been happier if they'd spent another $5 on the watch and not the packaging, but there you go. So Glycine, Swiss watchmaking since 1914, so 100 years of history and heritage here. I guess that's partly what you're paying your $99 for. Two models of note, they do the Airman, very nice GMT, I believe that's been in continuous production since the 1950s, and the Combat Sub. Now the Combat Sub has a great reputation, normally a 42mm with a ETA 2824-2 in it, retails for around $399 US. They're often on Massdrop, good deals on Jomashop as well. You're picking them up, as I said, for $400, and I think you're getting an awful lot of watch for the money. My friend just bought a golden eye and he enjoys that one. So when I saw this at $99, I did rather jump at it, hoping to at least get some of the same quality. But I'm not so sure. Now, Sapphire Crystal, 316L stainless steel, screw down crown, and 200 meter water resistance. It does have a Swiss movement. It's the Ronda 515. Fairly basic 3-hand plus date window quartz movement, but they're pretty decent. I've had a watch check app running on this one and it's losing just over a second and a half a week, so pretty much what you'd expect from quartz. Battery life of around 40 odd months, so you'll get between 3 and 4 years with this one. I guess that is a concern with a watch that's designed for diving, or at least has that capability. You don't want to be taking the case back off all that often when you're replacing batteries, so good that this one can last well over 3 years with a single lithium unit. So let's get right up close and personal and have a good look at the dial and the finishing there. And unfortunately, this is where I think the Glycine starts to fall down a little bit. Good from afar, but far from good. We've got a nice little applied logo just underneath the 12 there. Arabics at 1269, date window at 3. The rest of the indices are just painted on there, and we've got small lume pips all the way around. But the bezel, I think you probably get a good shot on it here. Looks like it's been made from a repurposed used can of Coke Zero. It really is that naff, and the action, don't get me started. If you watch the unboxing video, I mean, look at that, that's pretty shoddy. So much play as to be almost bi-directional. Now for $99 you're thinking, I'm asking too much of the watch, but the Phoebus that I got in at around the same time just shows that $99 you can still do better than that Glycine. I must admit I'm a little disappointed by the bezel action there. So let's see what it looks like on the wrist. Now I've got a 7-inch wrist. 40mm is normally my sweet spot. I do wear anything from 34 to 42. I think 42 is just about my upper maximum, but 40 is a sweet spot for me. I've got it done up nice and tight so that it stays in place there. I think it looks pretty good on the wrist, nice size. I'm not normally a fan of NATO's, but I think the Ducati on this one really suits the watch. I'll be keeping it on the Ducati, especially as it's got those nice PVT buckles and tang strap on there also. Just a quick look at the case back then, also 316L stainless steel, also PVD finish, and we've got a nice etched Glycine logo there with a couple of seals. I believe that logo is just for the combat and advertising. It's Sapphire Crystal, 200 meter water resistance, and the all stainless steel finish. And there you can just about make up the little Glycine crown on the crown there, upside down as it is, but there it is. Always nice to see a signed crown. PVD quality is actually pretty good on the case. You can see a little bit of brushing underneath that there, but overall the finishing on the watch itself isn't too bad. I think it's just the dial for me, and that dodgy bezel that lets the watch down just cheapens it a little bit. So can I recommend the Glycine Combat Sub Quartz? Well, I'm not really convinced by this one. $99 is, at the end of the day, not an awful lot of money for something with Swiss made on the dial, sapphire crystal, and a decent level of water resistance, but it just feels a little bit cheap. That bezel action is unforgivable, and I think the dial makes it look nastier than it should. So probably not. I think there are better ways to spend your $99 than this. Well, there you are, the Glycine Combat Sub Quartz. $99 well spent? I'm not so sure. Great on paper, not so fantastic on the wrist. I'll probably end up keeping it. I quite like the PVD, and I don't have an awful lot of watches that I regularly wear on a NATO, so this will offer me something different, but by no means the finest horological bargain that I've had over the last couple of years, that's for sure. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.